Okay. So the recurring billing module for monitoring is here. And when you hit the start button, it brings up this screen here. And on this screen, there is some setup area that I've already done for you. And you'll notice if we come down to setup, you have here your monitoring types that we video, intrusion, elevator, fire, and I used this little short abbreviation, and these are tied to your product codes back in the setup screen, so they go to the right GLs.
Okay.
The rest of these really are not your world. I just made everything professional. There's no benefit to any one of these other things. These are strictly for the Muzak world. So now, to actually create a recurring record, come down here to this guy and press start. And see, here are all of your contracts loaded in by the customer code that you gave me. And you see I've tied them to a video service, and there's your amount.
Okay.
And the effective date was when I loaded them in.
Mm-hmm.
There's your notes that you had put on those individual records of the comments. So there's that piece of the data that you gave me.
That's the last one in WinTech. Maybe.
That's the last one in WinTech. Okay. There's your client and his phone number and the location.
Now I'm curious, we aren't going to know your code. We're only going to know it by our client. So is there a way to search by our client?
So when you go to add, the first thing you get is the customer record right there. So the whole lookup system is your customer record, like so.
And is that only for the monitoring ones listed or everybody listed?
This is everybody. Yeah, this is your entire customer list.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your entire customer list. So I'm sorry, you got to use to not closing that screen. Sorry, even myself, because that screen is, when you hit this screen, you're closing the whole screen.
Mm-hmm.
You want to press so add a recurring. You press the exit button here. We'll close this guy.
Okay.
And that, oh, no, that's not what I want. I got to do this thing here. I've got to get back to using this particular screen. Sorry, add. Where's your cancel here? Oh, cancel right there. Sorry, cancel. Okay. That gets you back to where you were. So for some reason, if you wanted to change this client, you could click on this guy right here, and how do we get to change? How do we do edit? I don't want to add. I want to edit this record. Where's the add? See, where's the lookup? I'd like to be able to look up this client. Let me figure that out. I'll make myself a note. Look up on recurring.
There's a look button.
There's tax look. Oh, there you go. Fine. There you go. Fine. Sorry. All right, and that's the customer. So you found it. That was exactly what you wanted. That's the button you wanted right there. You go.
Yeah.
Never mind. There is a look button.
But
Thank you.
so when you're in this one though, you won't know who those are unless you click on each one of them. Is that?
Well, that's the client. That was the client.
I know, but I'm thinking of the big box up above. So if we're wanting to try to find one, we have to click on them all? Because we're not going to know their code. We're only going to know them by their name.
Let's see. Edit reason. Edit. Save. Okay. Guess there is no sort by company.
I mean, because be able to have a fast look of
Yeah.
Because we aren't going to know, we won't know who they are until we...
I do have a company field here.
Here they are.
There, that's what we need.
Yeah. Let me see if I can add it's sorted by, it's not sorted by company, it's sorted by record number. Let me add a sort by company. Recurring sort by company. Okay. Sort by company. Okay. So when you add a record, add record, you find the customer. I'll put 3D for purposes of the demonstration. 3D space security, like so. This guy doesn't hide it. I got to add the hide to this because we don't. That was something we just added. Hide.
Well, and one thing that I noticed too, on the ones that I've inactivated.
Yes.
When you look them up with their actual company name.
Yep.
It doesn't come up, but if you do it via filter or sort, they do still show.
Oh, you found that? So we want this one here, correct? That's the one we want to write.
One.
Right. Pick on that one, and then the next thing that you choose is the category, and there's your category, video services, like so. Then you choose the frequency of the bill, annual, etc. Yes?
Yep.
And then you choose the anniversary month, just like you have in the other system. You choose the anniversary month, like so. And this yes is about whether they get a bill in the first place. Some customers auto pay, and you don't need to send them a bill.
Okay.
They just pay you, and you apply to the account, but it actually doesn't create the recurring record. But in your case, it's set to be yes. And here's where you can put your salesman, like so. Okay. Account type would be just professional. Like I said, it doesn't hurt. Either way, it doesn't affect your system. And here is the amount. That is the amount. So 259 or 247 or whatever that's your amount. You don't really have to put anything more down here. There's a commission system you can employ. Notice?
If we did apply that, what do you do?
I don't even remember. We have to open. I got to open that door. I haven't even.
We don't have to connect on it right now.
Yeah.
But we will need to connect on that. Okay.
So how does that work? I mean, is that a Doug thing specifically?
A Doug thing specifically.
Okay. So. Yeah, we'll have to. I don't even know how that works. It's been literally years since I've used that field.
Well, it's not a rush right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we can look at it in the next 2-3 months.
Yep.
Next couple months.
Yep. So 247, that's the commission amount, and then there's...
What's the stop date?
The stop date would be theoretically when this contract expires, which you'll notice is 100 years from now. Mm-hmm. So theoretically it could stop. You could set this as a 4-month contract and it stops. But...
or if they end up moving,
right,
put the stop date in,
right,
or
right.
If we cancel their services because they're not paying.
Well, if they cancel the services, you would actually put delete here, and that'll stop it. That's the way to stop it right there, not the date. Use the delete. It'll sit there.
If they're stopping their services.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, use the delete. It'll sit there as a deleted contract, but it won't go anywhere. It doesn't actually delete from the system. It just stops functioning.
The billing frequency.
Exactly correct.
Okay.
And you've got your salesman. We talked about that. That's about it. We hit the save button. I think it might prompt us for territory. And you can just put an asterisk. I just put an asterisk in there. You'll find an asterisk in your system. And edit reason is a new account, like so. And that's it. It's now in the system. Just like that.
And then
to generate recurrence. So after you do that, so when you're ready, when you've got all your accounts ready, you can hit the done button here. Remember, don't close this one because it'll close the screen. Hit the done, takes you back to this menu. Okay. Now, to get a listing of all your accounts, irrespective of the frequency, you can go ahead and do preview, and this will give you all of your recurring counts and the value of your recurring counts right there. So you've got $100,000 worth, $139,000 worth of accounts, and there's 404 records. We added one. Mm-hmm. About right? Close?
I'd have to look.
Yeah. I'm saying sure.
Close enough, right? Yeah.
There's a lot, yeah. Let me take a quick look here. I've got 248 on intrusion. Elevator around 10 or 11. 145. Yeah.
Yep.
Around
right down there.
So now, for when, like some of those, the amount that transferred over when pulling all the information together, it included the tax amount. So like we billed $360, the amount you were given was $383.40. I didn't know that those would actually transfer over to you, so that's pretty darn cool. So we would just go in on that bottom portion and just edit that dollar amount.
Right, and this groups them up by group.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how your grouping is. And there you go. So yeah, so if you need to edit them, you come down here and just edit this out and change the amounts, right? So
just change the amount right there.
Exactly correct. Okay.
And then for this one, we can just hit delete and it won't do anything.
Right.
Okay.
There's also a tax record here. Here is your tax code. Look up tax record. There's your tax code right there. So you could look up the tax system and set it.
Can you default that one too?
14, right?
To 14?
Yep. Yep. 14 would be by name. It's going to be
It'd be South Dakota.
Yeah, code. There we go. Code 14. Yep. 14. Where's your 14? 14's right there. But anyways, I'll go ahead and do 14 for tax code.
Okay. And then you probably said this, but how do you invoice them?
That's go next.
Oh,
okay.
Did I miss that? I've been
no, not yet. Not yet. That's the next screen.
I know
yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So here.
Maybe is it 5?
Here is, so that was your listing function for purpose of general listing. Now, you won't be using this option, so you don't have to worry about this. This is for one of my other customers. For the to create your pre-register, you just click on this guy, and you set the effective date that you're trying to report for. Now notice this invoice number right here. This is literally your next invoice number that's been set in system setup.
Okay.
If you should actually make a note of that before you start the generation, because if you decide it's wrong, you want to go back and revisit taxes or prices or whatever, you can backdate this back to that original number. Okay? So when you're doing your recurring billing, you want to pause regular billing temporarily, because if you want to set this back, if somebody's done a regular bill in the middle of it, then you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to generate the register, you just go ahead and click on this guy and hit start based on the effective date of the month, the frequency and date and all those kind of things. And you
There's a report we can look at for that?
After you do the generation. You do the generation, so now you see what it's doing. It's looking through all your records, and it just generated 21 bills.
Mm-hmm.
Now you come and just put a check mark, you've done that step. Now you can come over here to this guy and look at your register. And there's all your billings.
Okay.
For that period. If you're happy, fine. If you're not, you've got the recurring record, what the invoice number is, and who the customer is. If you want to make an edit, there it groups it up for you again. You can come down to this guy here and come over here, and now you've got edit capability that you can change the amount, whatever you need to do to make it what you want. Spread your columns out a little bit better so you can see what you're looking at a little easier, like so. Okay? And then when you're finished, you hit the done button here, and then this is the final print.
Okay.
That's the print guy. Okay? And then after you've done the print, which I'm not going to do, you create the export to QuickBooks.
That just prepares it to get it ready.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually export it.
No, it puts it into the dollars to accounting bucket, just like everything else.
Okay.
And then you've got some other reportings which don't apply to you guys, and then you can clear the data for this batch.
Okay.
And
that would
then,
be good to print a report of what was done, though. So
right.
If you're liking what you see,
Yep.
print the list.
Yeah. You get use this print list to see what the register looks like. You know, if you made any changes under this guy, final print to do the print, and then create the AR export, and you see it'll put your little check boxes next to each one of these as you do them. And then when you're finished, you hit this guy and hit clear. It'll clear the print register, and you start it for the next period, monthly period.
Nice.
Just like that.
Not better than viewing it and seeing it once and then it's gone.
Yeah. So I can do clear on this guy here. This will clear the register, like so, and it just cleared them out. And now you're back to your.
Now, did all of those get invoiced and done though, or are they gone now?
No, they're gone. I cleared the whole thing altogether. So this is going to be empty now.
Oh, it just clears that. But we are going to be able to go back and work on those.
Absolutely correct.
Okay,
they're
that's
all,
what I wanted to make
the
sure.
contracts are still just sitting there. They're just sitting there, right there.
You just cleared that instance.
I just cleared that instance of that thing.
Yep. Our system now, once you do that,
Yeah.
you can't go back and ever see them again.
Oh, give me a break.
No, that's why I'm like, oh my Lord, did you just?
No.
That's why I reacted.
The one thing I'm going to do though is I am going to set the invoice number back to 1,000. So I'm going to go back and clear that. So invoice NUM. Invoice NUM. Fine.
And
See, it used 17 invoice numbers. I'm going to put this back to 0, like that. Good.
And I did save the manual to an easy location for everybody to see, and I've already emailed that to everyone. And Mary, I have it in my email. I'll attach it to the one out there.
So recurring billing. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. This has been people have been using this forever.
Yeah.
This was created back in 2000, so they've been using it for.
So the main ones is the recurring is just monitoring.
Yep.
Monitoring, and that's it.
It's
just the flat, standard, no fluctuations. And then the other ones track the coming and going of costs and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And visits to the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. All right. I'm going to keep working. When do you have to leave?
Probably no later than 5:30.
Okay. Nice.
Can I just make sure you have a couple other things that are,
Okay.
I think they're simple things for you?
Okay.
Let me just find some up here.
You can put them right on here. Actually, this is my little work to-do list. Right.
And you have your notes for the
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
It's making sure the tax area says applicable tax and not sales tax.
Yep.
And that's across the board, no matter where it shows up for a customer. Making sure, and you might already have this down to the invoices, the two different ways.
Yeah, I've got those ones right here.
Okay. And then, can we get that payment slot, so once you get the payment in QuickBooks, it can be on there?
Yeah, that's right here under payable right here. It'll be right, when I turn it on, it'll be right in this section here, but I'll turn that on.
just so that she can put the little dollar amount in and that it's done, because we want, Jerry wants to be able to look at that and other people so that they can have that. So I mentioned that one to you. Applicable tax.
Does it write it down?
Yeah.
Payment?
Payment slot. Yep. I'm just trying to write down. We've done recurring billing. At one point you mentioned for freight, the GL account needs to be added. Is that done? It must be if Jerry's been able to transfer stuff over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you probably already have this down, the job detail for times for text. We talked about that yesterday. So you've got that down. Statement, you've got that down. Wanted to make sure the inter-office emails work between the systems. And then for trip charge, we just have to add a P code for right now then for that?
P-line part,
Okay, P-line part. And there were other things, but they are questions that can wait. These were just ones that I wanted to hit that I knew would affect us like beginning of the week. So I think right now then, other than the ones I've written down here, it's just the tax codes and then just making sure that we can email amongst the Do you want me to test one or?
Well, let's see. If you bring up a quote, how can you test that real quick?
You bring up a quote and
send it to somebody. To yourself, for that matter.
I was going to say send it to myself or send it to yours.
All products. Come over here, all projects.
Well, if you just want to try to do it and send it to me, I can see if it goes through.
But I'm logged in as me, so I'm not the best candidate for doing it.
Oh, sure.
That's why I want to let you do it. I could log in as you, actually. That's all I have to do. I just have to log in as you. Let's just do that. Because then it'll switch. We'll just log in as you. This is going to be
try to hit
L-M-E-L-A.
There isn't anything that you need. Before on Monday morning. We're not going over anything. Okay. I just know we got everybody put in the secret there, and I've got a copy of all the other stuff. Not PDF model. You guys are going to need to do that for others, for allowing them what they can see. Because even if we've got them all in there, if we don't have them on the back, if we don't have them on the back side, then you can do this. But I will have to, I have to figure out, I just need to make sure I'm doing it. Because I got questions on where and how and what, and.
I know.
Okay. Oh, I miss you.
Why you? You're just the broadside of a barn.
Hit me in snow. And I tried to hit him and it went like way over to the side.
He's done $100,000 worth of quotes already.
Good man.
That's pretty daggone good.
In a day and a half?
Yeah.
Taxes may not be right, but...
Yeah, right.
Because we didn't even have tax codes in until this morning, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So.
But we'll improvise it. Just let's in and get it done.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I change my email address right here. And hit the send button.
And in the manual, does it tell you if you want to do like spell check, where you can go to remove the spell check on certain things?
Yeah.
Okay. It's good enough for me.
It's under the setup manual.
The setup manual. Okay. I did not send them the setup manual.
Yeah. So this is what I expected. He's still got a problem. We're going to have to work through this. Yeah. It worked for DovNet, but it doesn't work on the individual users.
Okay.
Do you know your password for your mail system?
It's the same as our computer login.
Let's try that. If it's simple as that, then I'll show you how.
Or at least I just had to change my password on my computer, and when I went to go on my phone, it said your password has been changed, and I had to enter the same password. So they're all connected.
So under setup, let's see if that's a simple fix. if that's a simple fix, then we come down here to security setup. Yeah, he's got some kind of scan going on this machine because it's still, this should pop in right away.
And are you on Keith?
I'm actually on the server.
On the server right now.
Yeah. He saw this, Chris saw this, that it was pokey. He wasn't sure why. So we go to security setup, we come down here to Melanie, and what's your password?
Oh my goodness. I literally just changed it last week. Until I type it, I don't quite know.
Yeah, I get it.
Capital P, lowercase a, y, t, o, n, s, m, and you know what, I'm going to just wait 1 minute. The last two are one of two options, and I will log into this computer to find out. Like I said, I just changed it. Okay, capital P, lowercase a, y, t, o, n, s, m, at 2.
Okay. Let's log in as you again. And now that system knows to use that as the authentication instead of the DovNet one.
Oh, rather than that one?
Yeah. So even though we set DovNet up to work, so, oh, I gotta log in as you. It's this guy here to prompt user ID and password.
Melanie. I think it's M-O-R.
Yeah, this password is
G-A-N
generic. Yeah,
at.
that one's fine. That's good.
Oh, that one's fine?
Yeah, and then we'll come back to our quote.
Oh, for you, it's generic? But for me,
I've got
it's
a
different.
I've got a super password.
Okay.
I can get it.
Driving backwards, trying to catch him.
You hitting me with snow too?
Oh. We're talking about you.
Oh, I didn't even know you were talking about me. What are you talking about me?
We're talking about how you haven't drank for over a month. So
I know.
So you're just gonna get in trouble. We're gonna hear on the news that they had to let go of one of their weathermen for streaking down Minnesota, and the office manager for 3D Security got fired too for doing the same thing.
And their daughter Peyton was driving around trying to protect you.
Yeah.
With the flashers on.
You guys.
Well, it was nice to meet you, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have fun with your grandbabies.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
Yeah, you are. It's not. It's more like passed out sleeping in.
I'll probably be up early if they end up spending the night, so.
Oh, yes. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is play night. This is a play night thing.
Well, it's been a really busy month for both my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really think I've seen him much almost since Sunday of this week.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's been working, you know, going to work. He goes to get up at 3 o'clock and is off to work by 4. And he gets done at 1.
Right.
Because he does the morning news and the midday news. But then by the time I get home, he's going to bed at 7:30 or 8. So like
Right.
this week, I mean, last night I actually got out of here, you know, just before 6.
Right.
But I had a meeting at the school at 6:30 that didn't get done till 8. Well, by the time I got home, he immediately went to bed because he had to get up. But this week has also been crazy because of with the weather. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah.
But,
So he's going to have to figure out and tell us what we need to send.
and you'll inform him of all of that.
Yeah.
So he can assist with it.
Yeah, he sent me a document. I'll see if I can't read it. He sent me a link to a document.
Okay.
But he said he got it to work for DovNet, but I knew because I saw he changed it. The from and the authentication are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with what I just did, it should be exactly the way we'd use in Melanie. He may have to put your user ID into that permission system.
Permission system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So then he would need those permissions for everybody.
you're right. See, there you go. It's sending it from this, and it's using this too. So I did my job, which was to make them both the from and the account,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't go through. So he's got a problem yet to work through.
Yeah.
But I'll send him a message.
Okay.
So I'll make myself a note of that email.
But so between this week, this whole month, and his whole month has been crazy, working evenings and then switching
Yep.
to mornings, and So, and we've been eating clean. So tonight we're having filet and some wine.
Oh.
And after eating a big, or it's not a huge piece of filet, but I'm sure we'll have a whole bunch of vegetables and some wine.
Yeah.
And with as little sleep as we've both gotten this week, I'm sure we'll be like.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, I'm going to send you an invoice on Monday.
Okay.
Get that out to me. I'll send you my FedEx number.
You bet.
Get that out. Send it to my wife. She's looking for it.
Okay.
I'll figure my expenses out.
Sure.
In the next 24 hours whenever I leave the hotel.
Sure.
I won't have that number until. But you guys get off easy. It's not even close to that $2,500 budget they gave me. It's
sure
much less than that. So.
Well, I'll let you work on your the tax part.
Work
I
out.
need to do
Let
that.
me know when you want to kick me out, and I will.
I mean, are you able to still work on it at
home?
When you're gone?
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can get out to that machine.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to get. I don't know 100% whether we're going to be able to figure the total transfer to QuickBooks out.
The transfer.
That
part I'm not.
Oh, because it's not 100. All your invoices are not that. They're going to be not. The excise tax is just it's 20% of your invoices, right? Give or take.
Not even.
Okay.
Because it's only South Dakota installs.
Right. Okay.
And South Dakota installs. I mean, there may be 20 invoices or 30 on a big month. And only I do those.
Right.
And if I'm doing the transfer,
you'll figure out somehow.
I can make sure that I have my way of knowing how to add that one little line of the excise
tweak
tax.
little things to get it to work.
That for the QuickBooks, because I remember being in some of my tax classes saying QuickBooks doesn't have an option to do that.
Okay, so I shouldn't. I'm not surprised.
I mean, that was 2 years ago.
Right.
But right now, I don't want you to have to worry about trying to figure that QuickBooks out.
Yeah.
What I want is for the customer's amount to be right when we send it out to the
Exactly right. Okay, so that's my goal. All right.
As long as you can get that part right,
Yeah.
and if everything can transfer over correctly, minus the excise tax,
yeah,
I am okay with that.
The rest of it will be fine.
Yep,
so.
I am okay with that because I can add a line item in excise tax and put the dollar amount. And
call it a happy day. A part number so it goes to the right GL and the whole bit.
Yeah, we're going to have to get that all set up,
right,
and I can work with Keith. Keith can help me with that, and we can just make sure it goes to the right
general ledger
form for him that where he needs it to go.
Yeah.
But
good.
That's as long as we can get it right in your system.
Yeah.
And everything transfer over, but that's okay.
Yeah, the rest of the invoices are going to go over fine. It's strictly that stupid.
It's
the tax on tax.
Yeah, and I tell you, when I first started, I'm going to all these different state tax classes. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? It was a lot of learning.
Yeah, no, I get it. Did you actually travel to different states?
I did not have to travel to different states. Minnesota is 5 miles that way.
Okay.
So we're fortunate that South Dakota has, I first did the South Dakota class, and then they did a South Dakota-Minnesota comparison.
Okay.
So then that way, overview of how South Dakota is, but then focus on Minnesota because we're so close to it.
Right.
Nebraska's, I had to just research online, but we barely do anything in Nebraska.
Right.
So I'm not overly worried with that one.
Right.
Iowa, that one I just had to do classes remotely through. They had portal sessions and things like that. And then for North Dakota, I didn't have to travel to North Dakota. I traveled to Aberdeen, which is about as north as you can get in South Dakota.
Right.
So that's right up there. Kind of, they do the same thing there. They do the North Dakota class up there because it's across the border.
Right.
Just like we do Minnesota across the border.
Right.
So,
right.
But, things continue to change with it.
Yeah,
so.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
So I'll work for a little bit until you have to kick me out, okay?
Probably leave close to, if you are able to continue to work after the fact, that's fine.
Yeah, no big deal.
Probably close to around 5:15.
Yeah.